Hi everyone, my name is Michaela, and this is actually my very first time recording a voiceover for YouTube, so bear with me. This July, I traveled by myself to Italy to hike the iconic Alta Via 1 backpacking route. This is a route that travels 75 miles through the Dolomites, which is a mountain range in northeastern Italy. The hike typically starts at Lago di Braies and travels south. It historically ended in Belluno, but more commonly people end at La Pisa bus stop to avoid a complicated via ferrata. The hike is also typically done by hiking from refugio to refugio or mountain hut to mountain hut. The ones listed are the ones that I decided to stay at, but there are many more along the way, which offered great opportunity for lunch, cappuccino, snacks. I planned to do the trip over 8 days, and my first day was one of the shortest, at only 6.3 miles. That ended up being a good thing because it did get off to a little bit of a rocky start. Day 1 of the Alta Via 1, yay! I'm jogging to try and catch my bus. I think it's coming in 2 minutes. I'm struggling to buy my bus ticket, so I really hope that the next bus driver just lets me on without a ticket or helps me buy one when I'm on the bus. I don't know. The first bus driver wasn't very nice. I'm officially at the starting point of the Alta Via 1. It was tough getting here. The app wasn't working to download the online tickets, and both bus drivers basically turned me away and said they weren't going to take me if I didn't have a ticket. I ended up walking back to my hotel. The woman who worked at the front desk, who is the daughter of the family that runs the hotel, offered to drive me in, and she had to call her aunt to get a permit to come into this area, but she did all of that, drove me, dropped me off. I really don't know what I would have done or how I would have gotten here without her help, so that was so incredibly kind. I'm so grateful. Solo traveling can be tough, but it's so incredible when there are people in the world that are willing to help you out and go above and beyond. So, yeah, let's go. Crazy. I'm about halfway to the first refuge. There really haven't been too many people. You can see Lago di Braies. I'm honestly glad to escape all of the crowds that came with Lago di Braies. It was packed. I definitely feel like I've been breathing pretty heavily, probably trying to get used to hiking at such a high elevation again. Being someone who's from Cleveland, Ohio, I'm probably gonna hike a little bit further, then stop and have some of the fruit that I brought from my hotel. Yeah, I'm feeling good to be on trail. Whew. Mile from lunch. I did fall already once. Right when I saw the refugio because I was so excited for lunch. I'm leaving lunch because it was getting a little bit windy and chilly just sitting there at the table, so I figured it would be better to keep walking on to my next stop, which is the refugio where I'm staying tonight. It's only, I think, about like 3 kilometers further, maybe, so really not that far at all. I got pasta with mushrooms for lunch, and the mushrooms were incredible, so much better than any I've had since I can remember, so that was definitely delicious. Oh, I think there's some crows. You see the birds? Aww. My knee's doing all right. It doesn't hurt too bad. I think it's probably going to be a little bit bruised up. Oh well. So I think that the bird I was calling ko is actually pronounced chuff, and there's some debate online that it might have at one time been pronounced chow. I don't really know, but either way, I watched the birds for a little while and then continued along to my mountain hut. I was glad to not be too far because I could tell that rain was coming. This was around the time that I also saw my first cows of the hike, which was pretty exciting. The rain continued to hold off as I hiked across the rolling hills, and finally, after about another half hour of hiking, I saw Rifugio Sennes, where I would be spending my first night on the Alta Via 1. Day 1 of the Alta Via 1 is done. I'm about to check out my stats. It looks like it was actually 6.36 miles. I thought it was going to be around 5.9, so just slightly further. I did it in 4 hours and 25 minutes. And oh my gosh, I wish I'd gained one more foot. I literally gained 2,999 feet. Should I just jump? If I jump, like, will it count? Wait, let me try. I don't think that works. So apparently I can't get it to gain an extra foot by just waving my foot around, but this is more accurate anyway, so I guess it's the truth. I'm definitely glad that I didn't have to go further, especially since I had such a late start with the issues getting to the trailhead. I guess moral of the story, buy your bus ticket before, like the night before, so that you're aware if there are issues with the website. I felt pretty good in general. I feel like my shoes were working well. It was definitely a lot of elevation right from the start. It was really only the last part after lunch that was downhill. I'm the first person in my dormitory here. It's a really nice refuge from what I can tell so far. See you later. I'm headed out on day 2 of the Alta Via 1. The refugio I stayed at last night, which is right there, was amazing. Warm showers, comfortable beds. The one odd thing was that dinner wasn't included, so you picked from a menu and ordered a la carte. But that was fine. It was overall probably still about the same price that you would pay. Today I only have to hike 6 miles, which is good because I think it's going to be raining like all day long. Right now it's just the drizzle, but we will see. I really enjoyed the people that I got to know. A French couple and then 2 sisters who were both originally from the US, but now one of them lives in New York City and the other lives in Berlin. The sisters are actually kind of following the same route, so I think we're staying at the same refugio tomorrow and the next day. And they gave me tips on how they're going to avoid having to hike 14.9 miles on day 3, which I think I might follow in their footsteps for that. There's an alternate route that goes through World War I tunnels, and it sounds like a good option. Today's gonna be a rainy, foggy day. I'm ready for it. I got my raincoat, rain pants. Thank goodness iPhones are waterproof. It's been much less rainy than I've expected, which is exciting. Ooh, lost you. It's actually getting kind of warm. Back to the uphills. Not ready. I stopped at Refugio Peru for cappuccino and a buckwheat cake, which was delicious. And I only sat there probably for like 10-15 minutes. Now I'm starting the uphill segment of the day, which I don't think I'm really ready for, but at least it's not downpouring, so it's fine. It's been really lovely meeting people along the way. I met two friends, Keiko and Alex. They were both super friendly, and I think they're staying at Fanes tonight. I love getting to talk with people on hikes like this. People are so open to talking. I'm lucky that most people have spoken English so far, which is always a little bit of a worry when you're in a country that speaks a different language, but I think there's enough people from around the world that it ends up being okay. I'm taking a break because I was already tired, but check out the view. I think I'm getting close to my ending point for today, so I'm just taking a little break under a tree, enjoying some shade. Although honestly, I feel like the clouds kind of come over as well, so it's not very sunny anyway right now. I'm definitely glad that it hasn't rained as much as it was supposed to today. I still feel like it's been a little too foggy and cloudy to see all of the mountains around, but most of the close-up ones I've been able to see just fine. I also really appreciate that even though this is a very busy trail, most of the time I'm hiking and I don't see anyone ahead of me or behind me unless I stop for a long break. I feel like I'm faster than most people, so I kind of can get ahead, and then I slow down as I'm doing different video segments, so people end up catching up. I arrived at Rifugio Fanes around 1:30 in the afternoon. The day hadn't been as rainy as I was expecting, at least in the morning. I was grateful to have made it before the real downpour started later that afternoon. I also had time to enjoy a delicious bowl of beetroot pasta, which was probably my favorite lunch from the entire Alta Via 1. After settling into my dormitory, I went downstairs to look over my guidebook, read, enjoy some tea, and play Phase 10 with Alex and Keiko, some friends I'd met along the trail. I had a great evening. I played cards with people before dinner. That was fun. And then I had dinner with 2 really friendly teachers from California. Nice to be able to be social when you're solo hiking. The bathroom's also very nice.